As I shared with you, we shared how the Tools for Meaningful Life workshops came about. We had that first Shanghai Coaching Collective meeting. From there, we had a subgroup get together to support him. Now, and this is one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this, our new group, right? We're already seeing what I call breakoffs, right? So from the main meeting, we had a breakoff from the work him was doing. We got together to support him and work on his program. In that meeting, as we're talking, we had Coach Leyla who talked about her 5-step improvement method. So in that meeting with him, she's also saying, you know, guys, I have this program. It's also at the beginning. What do you guys think? So what we left that meeting with was, you know what? We need to further develop it. And now Coach Leyla, she also spent some time, her and I spent some time last week further rough drafting her program and whatnot. So today she's going to share with us her 5-step improvement program. And just like what Coach Him was sharing, and just like Coach Juliet, all of these things are works in progress. So we really appreciate the feedback you're going to give. So once again, Coach Him, thank you. And let's go into Coach Leyla.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. I'm just trying to share my desktop. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Great. So I would like to start first to introducing myself. My name is Leyla Just. I'm from Germany, and I studied engineering and film and television, and did business coaching for 6 years now, as like not as a business coach itself. I worked for a German company back in Germany, and as a project manager. Then I was the head of the indoor sales and did business development projects, plus the last one was innovation projects. And but always I got these projects which were led by like kind of like difficult people, I would say. Like that's what the CEO was always telling me. Okay, fine, these people are a bit challenging, and because it was actually not in a negative way, it was in a positive way. So they were very extremely deep thinkers and try to find out, okay, why do we do this, and a lot of questions. So for a person who did that like very standard, they could not work with them. So this made these people like look like they're very difficult, but actually they were really interesting for me. So and somehow they had always asked me to do that. Probably they have seen something I did not at the beginning, and yeah, and that was actually my experience. And business coach itself, as the name, I did it with when I did a course at Dale Carnegie, and after the course they asked me, would you like to be a business coach? And I said yes, why not? So it was actually only 3 months left before I went back to Germany. We lived in Japan, in Tokyo, and but still I was thinking, why not? I should do it. And it was really, really great. So to step forward to my presentation, to introduce you with the 5-step self-improvement method, I would like to talk about, first of all, about the personal reasons why did I create this method, and second, my target clients, and the last step would be I'm going through with you through the method I created. The personal reasons for the creating this method was actually, I was reading a lot about like, how can I improve? How can I help myself? As I mentioned before, I did Carnegie daily Carnegie training, a course, because I was like 10 years ago, a friend of mine, she gave me a book of you should read this guy, because I was asking a lot of questions. Why is that happening? Why it's
Hey guys, are you guys able to hear me?
yes,
Okay, I think we lost Leyla.
yeah.
Okay, let's see. She should be joining back in a moment. And thank you, Subin, for saying that you could not hear. I thought it was just me. I should have asked everybody. So let's pause for one moment, and Layla, I'm quite sure will be back in a moment. In the meantime, let me add some comment while we're pausing. Again, I want to really just thank Juliet and him for stepping up for what we call our first webinar workshop. Workshop meaning it's a working meeting where we're trying to learn and teach in the same environment as opposed to just sit back and listen. So thank you guys. We're going to be trying to have at least one uh, webinar workshop per month. So you other coaches out there, we look forward to having you present. And we have Layla back.
Yes, I was gone. I don't know why. So
Yeah, your voice started going out when you were talking about the yes, I believe it was on slide one, the personal reasons. So if you can pick up from here, I think we'll be good to
yes,
go.
okay.
Great.
Let's yeah. So for me, it was yes, it helped. It didn't help me actually to I had like kind of like ideas, and I tried to do the same thing, but it didn't work out for myself. And for me, it was always like easier to help others, and because I thought, okay, fine, they have this kind of issues, or they are like really good in that, I could support them to achieve their goals. And it was actually part of my personality always to help. Yeah. And but for myself, I did never know, like, what do I really want, you know, and what do I really enjoy. And I had like plenty of ideas, and they were like really good when I was talking about it with my friends, but I never finished it off. So it was like in that picture, actually it describes it a lot, like, should I go left or right? So I was never sure. um, and I would like to go further to my target client. And I think self-improvement and development is in human nature. Actually, this is my quote. I just created that. I thought, okay, that's really sounds right. Yeah. So it's not from someone else. This is my belief that we would like to always move forward. We don't want to be there where we are. And and I think this tool will be useful for anyone. And what will they get out of it? They will be able to, like, their change their habits, see their own patterns, like changing their patterns, and switch the daily emotional state to be able to achieve whatever they desire. So this is, I think, the tool will be able to achieve. Um, so the 5-step self-improving method, as I said, there are 5 steps, and the first step is self-reflection via life timeline. So and I have here an example from she's a general manager. I met her here in Shanghai, and I was telling her, like, I do coaching, and I would like to do coaching here as well. And she was saying, like, well, can we do it? and I said, yeah, well, I can do it, but it's going to be for free. And she's like, great, because I said, I cannot charge you for it because I don't have working working visa. So I can just do it for free, for a friend. And she agreed. She said, okay. And even I did it with my husband, but I'm not going to show you that. So it's going to be the general manager. And well, I said to her, please draw your life timeline. So if you are at the moment able to do so, and ask yourself which phases in life affected you the most. And if you want to, you can go more deeper afterwards, and you say, okay, fine, it's too rough for me, like too big. The phases, you could go deeper. You can make the faces quite small as well. So it's really, really up to you how you created that. So, and then, well, I can just show you, she started with the primary school, secondary, university, work in Europe and work in China, because she worked here as well. And the next step is the emotional reflection. So then I said to her, just think about, like, red is really difficult and yellow is okay, and green is you had a really great time. And well, she wrote this down, and then I told her, why did you feel that way? I asked her to describe the times, you know, like, why was it so difficult for you? Why was it like okay for you? Why was it great for you? To just find out, okay, fine. I somehow said, okay, I choose colors for it. I said, okay, I have 3 colors, and then I go deeper and say, okay, I will describe the colors. Why did I choose that kind of color? How did I feel? How did I maybe react as well? And the third step is understanding your motivation. So then I told her, like, you should write down the drive and the frustration when the color is changing. So at that point, what happened, you know, to you? Like, what was it actually to make you, like, okay, going from one emotional state to another one? And then I asked her, so what you can do as well is just, like, write it down somewhere and put it, like, in front of you, and just step backwards and just watch what you wrote down actually there. What is your life like? What was your life about before? As I mentioned, for me, it was really difficult to understand myself. That's why I created that method to say, okay, fine, what actually happened in the past? What really affected me? How did I react when I was in a difficult time? How did I react when I was, like, in an okay time? How did I react when it was, like, fantastic? What do I really want? So that's why I thought, okay, fine, I need really a structure. I need something to understand. It shouldn't affect me, even though I think, okay, fine, the past is over, but still there's something always I carry with me, which is a burden for me. So I don't want to carry it with me. I want to get rid of it. So that's why I created this method to just show myself, okay, that's actually my life. That was my life before, and I really don't want that's going to be like the way it was before, and it was so challenging. And we moved backwards, as I said, and I just let her see, okay, fine, what was actually, what do I have kind of like a pattern? So things I'm always doing, yeah, and habits that I always have. And then we come after that to find out, okay, fine, these are my emotional states, and these are my patterns and my habits. We came now to change your daily motivation, actually. So for you, even though there was faces, I was describing faces, even though you can have, for example, at the same day, different kind of faces as well. Like in the morning when you wake up, you can think, oh, fine, I don't really feel well today. So I'm extremely in red. So how can I really do something to walk to yellow and then walk to green, yeah? To be able to change something, to have a great day and be more proactive. And here I have an example as well to make it a little bit clear. What I'm telling you about the method is like at the moment, what do I do when I'm in red time? Yeah. And am I feeling then unhappy, angry? I try to run away from my issues. I don't want to deal with it. And what do I want to do in the future? Yeah. What do I need actually? And here it was actually quite good, because she said, I need security. Yeah. I want to feel secure when I move from red to yellow. And then we thought about it. Okay, how can we do that? And it could be anything, yeah. For her, it worked out with asking question, or put in a scenario, worst case scenario, just saying that really could happen. So what can I do to change that, to make it more like, for her, like wider, yeah, her view. And then we step forward, yeah. To ask, okay, present time, what can I do? Future, in the future, what can I do to make it like easier for myself, and just switch, easy to switch. And the last step, I like the last step is to draw your optimal roadmap. So using those colors, like using those actually the future, like habits or pattern you have to move forward, and to be able to always be in green and achieve your goals. And then when I went through all of those steps, for me actually was clear that I need to be able to switch my emotional state. I have to be always in a higher emotional state to be actually able to think creative and be free more. Otherwise, I'm always like, when I'm in red, I'm stuck. So I don't really want to change anything, because I just think about what could happen worst, and oh my God, that's not going to work out, and so on. Then like asking yourself, okay, how would it be when I'm able to switch my emotional state always? And how would my life look like when I improve my drive? And how would my life look like when I'm able to improve my patterns and change my habits? So once you know your habits and your patterns you don't really like, then you are able to say, okay, this is actually like kind of like looking in the mirror and saying, okay, this and that is not really, that's what I want to. It could be anything, yeah. And then to think, okay, now how would it look like when that wasn't existing? And then to write it down. And for her, it was like, she just went on and said, okay, I want to be a CEO and get more experience and help others. And then she said, and at the end, I want to be a coach. I said, wow, that's fine, you know. So let me know when you are there, and then we can have a chat. So yes, and that's actually my last slide. Yes, as I said, I'm still at the, like, I know I have to work more on those like on this method, because there are a couple of things actually missing. And when I was working on it, I have more ideas now how I can improve. But I started 1.5 months ago, and I think I'm actually a little bit proud of myself, because I think, oh, I did actually something I could like help myself now. I'm able to help myself, and I started as well to do, like, I coached a couple of people, even Colin, and yeah, and I've got actually quite good feedbacks. Yeah, thank you very much for listening, and I hope we have soon another chance to have another webinar.
So Coach Leyla, thank you for presenting. And let me first open, of course, now I have some questions, right? But let me first open up the floor for questions.
Thank you, Lila, for. Judith, maybe you want to speak first?
You first, yeah.
Oh, okay. So thank you, Lila, for sharing. And I actually just want to. I was a little bit. Or maybe I misunderstand the step 4. Can you go back to slides 4?
Yes.
How is it like? I don't understand the graph, like present and future, present and future and present.
Yes.
So I'm not getting it. Can you maybe?
So the present is actually that what you usually do, or you can say past. Yeah. What kind of like, how do you feel when you're in that zone? How do you feel and how do you act?
Yep.
Yeah. You write it down, and future is actually what you would do in the future to be able to change from red to yellow.
Can you maybe do you have maybe have like an example?
Yes, like the example is actually here. I was writing it down for like the general manager I was interviewing, like doing the coaching. She said, well, she would like to actually run away and don't do anything. So, and she actually realized as well, she's not really good in having conflicts as well, right? And because she's so afraid that something like worse would happen to her, like, for example, she will lose her job, or people will think, like, for example, she was talking about salaries. She would like to have a higher salary. And I said, why don't you argue about it? Is it anything, like, why don't you just say, okay, I want it, you know? And she said, well, she's too much afraid of it. The people would think she's money minded. So that's why she doesn't do it. And she realized that she is not good in having conflicts. So when she has conflicts, for her is a really worst feeling. So, and then I asked her, like, what could you do? You know, what could you do in the future to be able to overcome, you know, this fear? And she said, okay, I could do a worst case scenario. I could write it down, and then she would actually like write down what is then the plan I could do or act that wouldn't happen. Like, for example, okay, when I ask for a salary, I would like to have more payment, you know, she could just say it, you know, just find like some arguments, or just say, okay, fine, I have a presentation or whatever. She would write down, okay, this is the reason why I should get more money, for example, right? And that is the future.
So taking actions.
Take actions, exactly, and be prepared for it, you know, just write it down. What could actually happen? You know, what is the worst? You know, I lose my job. But why should you lose your job? Because you're asking for more salary, or they could think you're money minded. I mean, we are working for the money, you know, like things like that, right? And yellow is the same thing. The example for her, it was lazy, yeah, too comfortable. She was not flexible anymore. It's just like everything is just like moving forward, but no motion, no motivation, nothing in there. So we thought about it. Okay, what could we do? And she said, I could ask a lot of questions, you know, to myself. How can I change it? What could I do? And all these things, and do reflection, like, what do I do wrong? You know, why am I lazy? Why? What is the reason for? So like doing like more kind of like self-reflection. Everyone is different in that case. For some people, for them, when they're in yellow, they think I have to do some crazy things. Like, for example, with me, I don't know, last time I told you, I would like to do free diving because I feel like I'm in yellow. I just want to do something extreme to just break through, you know, like I don't want to be in that situation, but I'm so stuck that I don't know what to do. So, so do something extreme maybe, or do more sports, or, you know, or call someone who's very could motivate you, you know, and then you are able to switch into green, because green is that what makes you like, wow, everything is just fantastic, you know, and you are able to just, I'm going to do this and this and that, and you are just like, wow, I can do it, and I'm motivated and all that. So yeah,
It's like the optimal zone, right? The green one.
Yeah. That's optimal.
Yeah. So for everybody it's different, like the time that they can stay in the green zone, I guess, right? So some people can, yeah.
Because life is not always in the green zone. Even as I mentioned, in the morning when you wake up, it could be completely red, and there's no reason for it, you know. Because you think, no, it's just, I just want to stay, and I don't want to go outside, or, you know, and maybe you don't have this kind of feeling or thoughts. Could be, you know, that's great. Then you are maybe in yellow or always in green. Then, you know, it depends. And it's really because I'm mentioning that because I was like actually coaching CEO, and I asked him, when he's like before I created this, and because I was doing interviews as well and coaching, and then I asked him, like, when you wake up in the morning, first thing, what do you think to be motivated? And he said, nothing. I'm just the way I am. Everything is fine, he said. But when I started to ask him a lot of questions, and he said always, I don't see the reason that with coaching, I don't think so you could help me, you know. And I said, okay, fine, but can I ask you questions? And then I start to asking more and more questions. What affected you in life, and blah, blah, blah. And he said, at the end, he said, I would like to see you again. So, you know, like, even though he was thinking, no, everything is just fine. I'm not saying like I just forced on him or something. For me, it was really interesting because he's a very successful person. For me, it was like, how does this person actually think, you know? And I would like to share this to others to find like something that could do the same thing, you know, just help others who are not able to be like him. Yeah. And I think a lot of things affect us, like parents, school, and all that, like the past. So that's why I came up with this one. And I thought, okay, there should be something. I have to analyze something to understand where is actually that coming from, and how I am able to switch, you know, be like him, for example. Because I thought, wow, he's a fantastic person. Like, you know, like a lot of great person out there, like Richard Branson and all that. So these guys are so motivated, you know, and like, why, you know, why are they like this? So I think this is really interesting, you know. Yes. So
sorry to be rude and jump in there, but we're running out of time, and I do want to let Juliet at least get her question in.
Hi,
hello.
Leyla, right?
Yes.
I think this is quite interesting and very valuable. I'm curious to know, maybe this is just my assumption or guess, because I think you give us a very structured method and also tool. Actually, it's a tool to follow. Maybe this is back to your advantages of engineering background in the very beginning.
Probably yes.
Probably yes, because what after hear two stories from you and him, yeah, him is more visualized, it's image based, and you're probably process based, have this kind of dashboard. It's like it's something like it's not probably exact the accurate, but it's like and some kind of give the some scorecard or dashboard for how where you are and where do you want to go, and reads lots of self-reflection. What do you want to do? What you can do to move from the current status to the further status, right? I think it's really, really powerful tool, and it gave me some hint that maybe this is a great combination of him's work and your work, and put some images to this kind of process, because the people we are coaching might be different style. Some are really logical, and some are really experienced and emotion based, sensitive. So they might our tools might can fit to different purpose and different style of people. And this is just something that came into my mind.
Yes, you're right, definitely. Yeah.
And then really, I'm very, very curious about your background. What's the experience look like when you coach CEO, general manager? What's the difference? What's the difference of the coaching experience compared to the coach for the general people, normal people?
Yes, you have to laugh as well. They're all the same, right? But yeah, what is the difference between them? Well, I think they are more confident, I would say, like the CEOs and the general manager, even though they have kind of like issues, but what issues is maybe a wrong word for it, but maybe like something which are like kind of like telling them as well, well, yeah, maybe it doesn't work out, and there are always risks somewhere when you make a decision, right? And for them it's more like they are very structured, I found. So they have always something they would write down, just say, okay, fine, so what could actually happen? And example for her, she's like, what could worst happens, and what can I do? And I can ask a lot of questions to myself. And she had like the same thing, like for her, for example, she got really bullied, and some people, like, I think we all had experience with bullying, and some people just run away and then do nothing, but some people, they just sit down and say, what can I actually do? What could I do, to change my situation I am in at the moment? And I think that changes, like, that's the difference. Like, people who are like, don't move forward so much, it's more like they get affected too much from the outside, so they don't really do something, just write it down and just find a solution for themselves. So they stop. They don't take the steps, even though it's hard. And these guys do. Yeah.
So guys, I have to jump in here, and I apologize again, but we are running out of time, and I think it's great that we had so much discussion and content to fill the 90 minutes, right? So thank you guys. And Leyla, him, and Juliet, I do have some additional questions. What I will do, though, I will submit my questions in our WeChat group, right? Because there are folks who had an interest that couldn't make it tonight, so we can ask those questions in that group. And when we do that, that gets more people aware and more people to add their feedback as well. So I do want to share one more slide. Now, each of you whom are on the call now, I do believe are aware of the information that I have. 1 second, my screen is a little off here. Can you guys see my screen? No?
No.
1 second. 1 second, guys. Okay, one moment here. Let me make sure that I have this correct. Okay, I'm going to share. So what are you guys seeing? Nothing now. Apologies, guys. My mouse does not want to do the right thing at the moment. Okay, here we go. I found my screen. I found the issue. Let me try this one more time. All right. Now I think you're seeing the correct page, right? Okay, so you're seeing how to contact and join? Okay, great. So I know all of you guys who are present now know how to contact and join. However, we do have folks that we do think will go back and listen to this video. So you have information here on how to contact Coach Juliet, Coach Him, and Coach Leyla. Also, we are part of a meetup group. So here is the address for our life coaching meetup group. Also, if you want to join via WeChat, add myself. I am Coach Colin T, and I will add you into the group. I want to, first of all, just give a big thanks to all of you coaches who shared today. And we had some good guests on today. And look, guys, I'm so excited. I think I told this to him the first time we met in our first meeting. I'm excited because when we look back on this and say, wow, you know, our first face-to-face meeting, we had 4 folks. Our first webinar, we had 7 folks, almost double, right? Almost double. So definitely growing. And I got to tell you guys, you know, a lot of good feedback already within the group. And I think this webinar was a great idea. I forgot whose idea it was. Whoever's idea it was, I think it's a great idea. Each of you, very bold in sharing. We look forward to other coaches also sharing. Before I close, any other comments from anybody? Okay, thank you guys, and we will see you at the next event. All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, Colin.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
See you
you.
next time.
Bye. See
Yeah.
you.
Cheers. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.